Hi everybody, it's Sandy here, and it's time for the full moon rose reading for the 27th of June 2018. We've navigated our way through the summer solstice. We've navigated our way through the really interesting energies that have been running, since the beginning of the year. So this first 6 months of the year, and what we've learned, what we've experienced, many of us have had really significant experiences in this first 6 months of the year that have been calling us to navigate uncharted waters and to find a way of moving forward and through with incredible changes that are presenting themselves in our lives. And it's not stopping here. So we have this full moon in Capricorn, with the moon in Capricorn and the sun in Cancer. So full moons always bring about a culmination, a sense of closure of some aspect of our lives. And we've spoken about this many times, about the fact that these new and full moons are pulse points on our path. Hi Elaine, hello. So these opportunities for us to reflect and review enable us to continually make the optimum changes that our soul is calling forward as we move through this year. 2018 really feels to me to be an enormous year of shift and clearing out old stories, old patterns that might still be running at some level in our lives, so that we come to the end of the year as clear and as aligned and as focused as possible to what we've actually come to offer in our journey. So this is powerful. Okay, thanks Elaine, thank you. Powerful times, and it's not going to stop now. We move into the eclipse season, and again, as I've spoken of before, what we've got coming up here is another shift, opportunity to shift, that 5 planets that are retrograde through the summer. Hi Diane, are going to be offering us these amazing insights into our story, into the possibilities for our lives, and of course where we still have issues that need to be cleared, that need to be released, so that we can shine as brightly as we possibly can. Or, in rose terminology, a rose only wants to be the very best rose that she can be, and each rose blossom has a unique signature note, which of course is how the Rose Oracle came to be about. Anyway, this whole period of these retrograde planets really feels to me that it's going to bring us into this place of really reevaluating the journey that we've been on. What is this now that is calling us forward? And it's time to reflect, review, rethink, and look at what needs releasing. And that might be more of your physical stuff. I mean, as many of you know, I've moved from a much bigger house than I'm in right now, and so coming into this bijou little cottage has meant that I've needed to release and shed many of the layers of my own story that have brought me back to a place that I lived in 12 years ago. I don't get a sense that I'm going to be here that long, but it's really a place where there's a consolidation process going on. So it's very interesting when we look at another aspect of astrology, and we look at something like the Vedic system, then we look and see that this this full moon is in Mula Nakshatra, and that's all about the root, the actual core, the root of our very being. I certainly sense for myself that this moon, this full moon, the actual moon is conjunct Saturn, and that for me is about that foundation, the structure, the very foundation of our lives. And is that foundation in order? You know, we cannot, if you're looking at the story of Maslow's triangle, and we look at this ground template, which is roof over my head, food on the table, the basic fundamentals of life, and you know, without that in place, we can't move up. We can't be in that place of an altruistic or a spiritual pathway, because the actual foundation, the foundation template isn't sound. And it's like at any moment someone can go and blow us over. So this anchor point, this place, and we've also spoken many times of the Earth Star, this beautiful chakra that is down below the soles of our feet. My sense is about a metre, just over 3 foot, down below our feet, is this Earth Star chakra, which holds the template and the coding for our journey in the on the earth plane at this point. So, you know, what is it that is calling you to restructure? You know, what is it that needs to be attending to? In my office space here today, I've had a new filing cabinet delivered. So there is a place in which getting my affairs in order, so to speak. Hi, Debbie. Is, you know, this is really essential for us, and that many of us, I know, working within the light realms, working within the energy fields, have a tendency to be less grounded and less focused on having that base in good order. But this moon is actually calling us for that. And, you know, Capricorn too, you know, it's really calling for that. It's an earth sign. It's calling us to be connected to the earth, to have those fundamentals in our lives really clear and sorted in good order. So, yes, being very aware of what's going on around us, and knowing that the more we work into the 5th dimensional field of frequency, the more we can open up portals into higher dimensions of frequency, that we have aspects of our higher soul selves located from previous lifetimes, enables that higher dimension of energy to come through and to influence and be a guiding light in the choices and the pathways that open up for us in our day-to-day lives. You know, what we put our attention on is actually what we manifest. So being really clear when we flip into a more denser energy or a residual place of our storyline or our journey through the 3D timeline and storyline of our journeys, and having the tools in the tool bag that upshift us out of that frequency band, so that we can maintain as much as possible within that 5th dimensional field. But that also brings us fairly instant manifestation. When we focus, we actually get what we focus on. So being really clear about what we're calling forward now. What is it that is your soul's longing? What is it that lights you up, that can activate the pathway and the people that you are aligned to co-create with? This will be the next flow, in my sense, is the fact that we are not meant to be solitary in our work. Visioning, yes, but to put that energy out so that we can co-create with others that are in that same frequency band. And that's where the joy is. That's where the sense of being on track or in alignment sits. So this pain of the disturbance that's coming up through these retrograde planets, and we've got Mars retrograde during the summer. We have got Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune all retrograde, and these are big players in our psyche or in our pathways through life. Many of these are very slow-moving planets. They have, they've come to make us dig deep and to create these transformational places in our lives to upshift us and to make sure that we stay in high frequency and in our highest and best alignment to bring the light in through our very being, to be able to bring that frequency of heaven on earth and to radiate that light, to be an illuminator on the bridge for others. Because it's not just happening for us, it's happening all around the planet. So there are a lot of people that are waking up to the fact that they are actually spiritual beings having a human experience and not the other way around. And that can be quite a challenging place to integrate. It's for many people, it's a complete sea change in their thinking and their approach to life. So, what might the roses have to offer us in this particular full moon reading? So, are you drawn to rose card 1? Are you drawn to rose card 2? Or are you drawn to rose card 3? And as I've said before, each one of these roses will carry a message for us. But when we look at the 3 together, we get a slightly different reading. And sometimes we can pick one rose, but actually the storyline on all three are appropriate, are resonant for this time. So if you were drawn to rose card 1, she is Rose Ma 3. Now the Rose Ma roses are the last set. In the Rose Alchemy Oracle, there are 5 different sets of roses that each carry a different signature and they've got a different message for us. The Rose Ma roses are the mother of the rose, and they are the roses that carry the note of the awakened and empowered heart field, which is a predominantly feminine energy. This rose is one of the roses that was photographed at the Alhambra in Granada and in my original trip to the Rose Gardens in 2010. Now, as you can see with this rose, she actually was sitting in a rose bed that, hi Anne, hi Ashley, that is in shade. So you can see from this image all of the light that is around this rose. And her message is, I am inner strength. Now she says, although I sit in the shadows, still I am beautiful. And I wait until it is my time to shine. So if you were drawn to this card today, this Rose 1 card today, she is inviting you to look at where you've been working on your mastery, where you have been honing your tools, where you have been quietly sitting in, maybe in the shadow, in the shadow of somebody or something from your past, or you'll have a particular piece that will resonate here. This place of waiting until it's my time to shine is really potent, I think, for many of us that work with the light, that are energy workers, because I really feel that we're moving into a time where the gifts and the insights, the gifts of intuition, the gifts of being able to bring insight to a situation that isn't necessarily the most obvious solution. You know, this place where we have owned our gifts, and so many of us, you know, these are energies that we're bringing back from, you know, ancient Atlantis, Lemuria, Egypt. These are times that we have had mastery of certain aspects of our journey. And for many of us, we've met teachers along the pathway of this lifetime that we knew from many past lifetimes. So this rose is really significant in so much that she is calling on that place of inner resource and that place of being patient and knowing that the skills that we have been mastering, that we came in knowing that we were walking the road less travelled, shall we say, that this is a really beautiful ally to work with. She's a powerful, powerful rose. And, you know, sometimes it is a place where, well, I know for myself, I was born into a family. I don't have anybody in my family that speaks my language. And for many of us we've had this place of the outcast, or the place where we haven't really felt that we fitted in. And so actually following our hearts, or following the path that has taken us on this place to harness our gifts and to walk the uncommon path, has been costly in lots and lots of ways. And therefore we have had to have this place of inner strength and resourcefulness to have been able to stay the journey, to have stayed with the program, so to speak, so that we actually are here at a point where our gifts and our mastery can be of benefit to many that are awakening now and are seeking those with authentic tools and with their gifts aligned, so that they can be support for the millennials that are beginning to awaken to their path, and of course those that came in the generation after me that were born in the 70s, 80s and 90s. These beautiful souls are now coming into that place where that wave of energy is beginning to strengthen. So, if you were drawn to Rose Card 1, she is Rose Ma 3. I am inner strength. And this is a very good rose to work with if you have the Rose Oracle deck. And as you know, this is a default. It's a default that I'm actually doing rose readings. They are meant to be high frequency energy tools. Hi Katie, thanks for joining. They are high frequency energy tools that actually are vibrational medicine for the heart. So this is really, these are powerful times, and the roses are really opening to their fullness of their power, both in, of course, our gardening year in the Northern Hemisphere, but also in the rose of the heart, this place of love, this place of living from love, living from the heart. So if you chose rose card 1, Rose Marthery, I am inner strength. If you chose rose card 2, she is Rose 10. Now it's really interesting because this was a rose that came up on the new moon reading as well. And this is a rose that sits on the navel chakra. She's one of the original roses that was in the original 11 set that I started working with in 210. And she's part of the actual healing grid, healing and balancing grid that sits on the body. So these original 11 cards actually are placed on the body in a therapeutic process to release with grace and ease the storylines that we hold in the body. So she sits on the navel chakra. So what does the navel chakra signify? I mean, this is connected into our digestive system. It's very much connected to the small and large intestine. So it's what we assimilate. You know, we aren't what we eat. We are what we can absorb, what our bodies can absorb. And so, you know, for many of us, we'll go through periods in our lives when perhaps what we're experiencing in life is indigestible, or we're not able to fully assimilate what's going on around us. And we will find that we've got digestive issues, or our immune systems will suffer or will struggle with that. So that's one way in which this rose can have a message for you, to be aware of what's happening with your digestive system and you know, your ease and comfort in life. This navel chakra has a minor chakra to it, which sits just below it, 2 inches below it and 2 inches in, that is known as the Dantian. So anybody that works with Tai Chi, Qigong, or any of the martial arts will be aware of this energy center in the body, where we gather the chi, where we store that beautiful golden chi. And it's also that place of the sort of pivot point in the body. It's where, if we take our attention down to that area just below the navel chakra, we bring more groundedness, more balance, more sense of being present in the body. And when we do that consciously, often you can hear a very slight drop in the voice as we come really fully into body. The other way that this rose works is that she asks us to look again at the storyline around our connection to our mothers, mother and mothering. And this rose is very open all around the outside, but her inner core is a lot more complex, and there is a little petal that sits right across the heart. So often our storyline and our connection up through the maternal family line, and don't forget that 70% of your emotional stories come down through and over the placenta from the mother. And yet, if you go up through the placenta into the womb of your mother and put her in her mother's womb and her in her mother's womb ad infinitum, like Russian dolls, you can only go back to the Great Mother. So this core energy of what we experience around mother and mothering is where the distortion is in the template of mother that you chose for this incarnation. Sorry, my cat has come in. One of my cats has come in and decided that she's just got a mouse out of her toy box. And they had a live mouse in here yesterday that I had to catch. At least it's not a live one, but it's very noisy. Yeah, this rose 2, you know, really look at this place of mothering, and if there's anything here around your female family lineage that might need looking at and letting go of. This is all about being really present to the stories. But there's new levels of the stories, certainly in my experience, that are coming up at the moment. Not comfortable by any stretch of the imagination, and a lot of self-reflection that is being called for. So, this may be what she's inviting you to. This, if you can see here too, this rose is one of the few that came with a bud, and it's like all of the potential that is there to unfold. But the imprint, the coding, sits in the core here. So, rose card 2, and she's rose 10. And if you were drawn to rose card 3, she is Rose Angel 2. Now, Rose Angel 2 is a real beauty. Such a lot of grace with her. So, maybe if you were drawn to rose card 3, then she's asking you to look at anywhere where there's resistance, anywhere where grace and ease would be a byword for these current times. Ease is this place in which we can really flow in grace to it's it just keeps us open when we can stay in a graceful space. And it's one of the key words I've always felt with the roses, is that there's such beauty and grace, and it's a huge reminder every time, well, certainly for me, when I connect with the roses in the rose garden, that they bring me back time and time again to this connection to nature, this connection to beauty, and to the reminder that there's a far bigger picture than I can ever imagine. And that sometimes we can get caught into the struggles, we can get caught into the glitchy places of our lives. But actually, when we connect with a bigger picture, then it allows grace and ease and flow. And this rose angel, she sits on the crown, and she is the rose angel that moves us from that sense of separation and aloneness and lost into this place of surrendering to the flow. Not trying to get in our boat and battle upstream, not trying to make sense of some of the things that we've experienced in our lives, but to surrender to the fact that there is a bigger picture. And there was always a jewel. There was always a jewel in the experience, a nugget of gold in any of the experiences that we've had in our lives. So the jewel with this rose is the heart ease of surrender. And surrender's not passive. It's not a giving up. It is a letting go for something bigger to show itself. So there we are. That's our 3 roses for this full moon. We have got Rosemar 3, I am inner strength. So really acknowledging to yourself, breathe that in, that real sense of, I am well resourced. I have inner strength. Hi, Charlie. Yeah, I am, even if I sit in the shadows, still I am beautiful. And I wait until it's my time to shine. This place of calling us into being really clear about what it is that we are being called to assimilate and to acknowledge and let go of any discord, any issues that might still be running. And this rose in particular calls us to look once again at the female family line, that female lineage, that imprint of the distortion from the divine feminine. And we have Rose Angel 2. In that process of paying attention, being present, being in present time, we can be present to whatever may come up for us. And whereas in the past we might have chosen to have numbed out, we might have chosen an anesthetic of some sort, you know, and this is not it now. This is the time where if there's an energy charge on something, it is a gifted place that tells us that there is still something that needs to be seen. And certainly I have found in all of my years in working with women and for women that when there is an energy charge that reveals itself, then it can release out very easily on tears. When we are fully present to what is moving within us, it can release, and the gem, the jewel of the heart, of the expansion of the heart, it's like a rose that can open once again in the heart, that allows us to really fill ourselves up, you know. And that's, you know, the other big takeaway with this is that, you know, when we do our work, and I have found it fascinating that often I will only get insights for myself, and then within 24 hours we'll have a client ring asking for a session or asking me to come and do a consult with the house, and find that the client is working through the same issues that I have been processing. So it's like I'm given the answer just ahead of time, just in time, to be able to be in service to someone else who is in the same frequency band that is clearing their piece of the storyline. And we absolutely know now that actually when we do our work and we're diligent with our work and we stay with the program, that actually we're clearing it off for the collective. I certainly find now that my work with houses, working with people in their spaces, there is a clearing that Mother Earth is wanting to, you know, when we work with this inner temple and then we work with our spaces, this is the outer temple to our inner temple. Whatever's going on in here will show up in our spaces. Whatever's going on in our spaces will show up in here. And so part of our service in being open to do our own work is in the fact that, you know, Mother Earth wants to release the trauma and the storylines that are still stuck within her auric field as well. So these are powerful times, powerful times. Anyway, I hope you found that useful, and yeah, we'll see what comes from this next. Hi Toya, hi Carolyn. What comes with this next phase of our journey as we move into this eclipse time proper, as we move into July. Yeah, these are really these are the times that we came for, and that is Toya, I'm really sorry I don't do readings in that way. I do a 3-card reading on the full and new moon. I'm not a card reader. I'm an energy alchemist, so I just work with my Rose Oracle in this way to bring insight. I'm not a reader. So, hi Ashley, yes thanks, full moon blessings to you too. Yeah, powerful times. So yeah, I've got new classes, in-person and online classes that will be coming up on the website. There's a lot more information going on the website in the next week, 10 days, which is exciting. And also I've got a complete new program that I will be offering in Guernsey in October, which I'm really excited about. So yes, that would be great. All right, so wishing you all well and wishing you a really good day tomorrow in the full moon energies. I know they're intense. So many of us have been in the pressure cooker this week, and yeah, take good care. And until next time, much love and rosy blessings to you. Bye for now. Bye bye.